what do we got to say today about the Trailblazer? So a couple problems we were facing or thinking about facing was the mass airflow. Because it had the factory Trailblazer SS one, it wasn't going to get saturated, so we put the LS7 tile one in there. Fuel pump's working, intercooler pump's working, everything's working, doesn't overheat, drives nice. Drove it to town a couple times, drove it to Arlington, which is about 15 miles one way, 30-mile total round trip, no problems. Drive to my tuner's house, and halfway there, it starts misfiring real bad. Kind of like almost like a completely dead hole, but it would come back and kind of go. It ended up being number 8 cylinder, so we checked the spark plug. Spark plug in number 8 was fine, replaced it anyway, still misfire. Swapped wires from 7 and 8, still stayed on 8. Swapped coils from 7 and 8, still stayed on 8. So it's obviously an internal problem. The weird part was, though, you could feel it kind of not miss and then start missing. You could kill the injector and it would obviously go completely dead. So it was working sometime. Hoping it's a rocker arm or something like that, because I really don't want to tear this motor back apart. So, that being said, I'm going to take the valve cover off and see what happened. Now, a problem that persisted when we were out there, and this is not really anybody's fault. I don't know if you can see me still. It's not really anybody's fault, but what happened was in September, when I got this thing and got the motor finished and put it in and started it, I had a different map sensor, I had different injectors, I had a different intake, it had headers on it, had no cats, so I'm like, well, it's obviously not gonna run very good, so let's just tune it to make it idle in the garage, which we did. So he pulled the stock tune file, but the stock tune file had the stock 4L70 trans controller. He didn't realize I had put a different trans controller in it since then. So we were out trying to tune it, and it wouldn't stay in open loop because the misfire was so bad. But I said, hey, you know, well, we could at least do some things with the transmission, make it shift right and that kind of thing. So he flashed a different, just changed a couple of parameters and flashed a new tune in it in the trans controller. But he didn't save the file from the 4L80 controller because he didn't realize that it had been changed. So the 4L70 tune got put into the 4L80 controller, which is really not good because there's a totally different wiring harness, different pinout. Then it wouldn't move. Gonna reverse, and it would barely move and drive. It would rev it way high. Everything was messed up. And to build an entire transmission tune on the side of the freeway in the middle of the night with a battery that's not gonna last, and the laptop or the Trailblazer turning it on and off as as we could. We just patched it as best we could. Lock up third gear torque converter on the way home. So now I'm waiting for the guy I got the transmission stuff from to hopefully get back to me and send me the stock file. That way we can pull it and tune that one, because yeah, neither one of us knew. I didn't realize that it would screw it up, and he didn't know that it needed to be pulled out again because he didn't realize I'd changed the original tune, so, or the original computer. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to pull the valve cover and see what happened. But yeah, basically you start it. I'll show you. That's all you get. I mean, don't move, so. So that's the problem right now. And you can tell it's got a completely dead hole. So anyway, I'll make another video here shortly. Thanks.